This is over to you, Veronica. Veronica is going to talk us through the welcome part of the session about the big CIC and what this is all about. So take it away, Veronica.
Yeah, thanks, David. So I hope most people do know why we're here, but if you're just very curious about BIG, BIG stands for Business Integrated Governance, and it very much exists to help organisations bridge the strategy execution gap. And it's very inclusive in terms of when we say strategy, that's not just projects or portfolio or anything in that domain. It's about creation of change, it's about business as usual operations, it's about value, it's about bringing the whole organisation together, creating that real goal congruence and joining strategy to daily activities.
Next slide.
Yeah, please. Okay, so the big CIC exists for a reason. There is development and promotion of the BIG framework. So we have quite a lot of material around BIG. The KIC exists to sort of create and disseminate that information. We want to build practitioner type capability through education and accreditation. We have some exams, for example. Definitely develop and support a professional community of practice. So anybody who within their role is interested in using governance as a tool to connect strategy to execution, or is generally interested in how you execute strategy on the ground level, this is for you. Undertaking research. Some of these problems are very, very well understood and rehearsed, some of them less so. And advocacy, so promoting, solutions. We don't all have to tolerate these ongoing and persistent, pernicious problems. There are solutions out there that we can, advocate for and be spokespeople for. And, foster collaboration and community involvement. It's about building a community of people who share this common interest. Next slide, please, David. Okay, so this you can view in your own leisure, but just to sort of show that BIG has an evolving and ongoing history. It's evolved over quite a long time. I think there was a bit of quite a lot of activity prior to 2018, actually, but it's slowly evolved from sort of idea formulation through to developing it. Working on particular issues around data was a big pain point, getting involved with praxis, working on value. We'll skip to the next slide. You can see this continued on into the early 2020s. So creation of the BOC, which is a relatively recent invention, codifying some of the information that had been sort of worked through over extensive sort of practice and debate and gathering of case studies and forming that community. And then quite latterly, really trying to sort of formalize this and push it out to more people. So creation of blogs, lots of resources. We're going to cover some of that, and sharing. It's all about sharing. Okay. So just in case you're curious about that formulation, so why a community interest company? It's just you have to have a type of entity, obviously. In the UK, you have various options, and one of them is a community interest company. It is a limited company, but it is for a public service. It is a not-for-profit, very firmly not-for-profit. We don't have shareholders, we don't pay dividends, there is no surplus created that isn't reinvested, and the assets, any assets such as the intellectual property, they are not to be sold for profit. So again, it's very much about community purpose, community interest. So we're very proud of that certification, and you can see we have the official logo as well, which we wear with pride. Okay, all the information that we're sharing today you can find in various places on the website, and you can see that we've signposted as we go which particular pages of the CIC website you can find that information on. So who are we? So BIG is, again, a community. We have various people engaged in different ways. We have the directors, such as David, who are legally responsible for the activities of the CIC and have a sort of legal standing in relation to it. We have volunteers like myself, who are people sort of doing activities around BIG on the ground and hopefully making it work. We have founders. So many people got involved in the early stages of BIG to sort of bring it to life. You can imagine how much work that was. You can read a few of their key thoughts in the forward to the book, which is interesting and well worth a read if you're interested in that early history of big. We have key contributors and helpers. So these are all people usually coming from their specialist domain of knowledge who are able to contribute something to big. Again, it's a sort of broad church. There's lots of ways to get involved and lots of subject matter expertise to be brought to components of big. And of course, we have donors. Again, we're not for profit, and we're really pleased with some of the recent generosity we've seen. Those gifts do just go to sustain the organisation. You can find more about that on the website under About Us. And who are we for? So the answer is there at the bottom. Anyone interested in integrated governance, any information, certainly the body of knowledge is available in full and for free. But we have full members, we have conference members, we have book club members, we have various sort of flavours of membership and involvement in big. And on our next slide, we also have more formal partners of various stripes. So we have professional bodies working in and around big, helping us to sort of develop that ecosystem around it. For example, our friends at IASP, who will be running a special session with later in the series, really pleased that they're involved. That's the International Association for Strategy Professionals. They are involved with strategy. Obviously, we're involved in closing the strategic execution gap. We have commercial partners, so that might be, for example, people with small businesses or independent consultants who can work with organisations to help them support adoption of integration of big, and people developing tools in this space as well, actually. And then people helping us spread the word and also giving us a vital feedback loop. So helping us improve big as we go through, that real world practice, finding the wrinkles, ironing them out. Moving on. You can find more about our partners on the website again. So what we have actually got an awful lot. So if you go to the website, bigkick.org, we'll get you there, or bigkick.org.uk. You must hyphenate the big and the kick, and have an explore. There's plenty of stuff. There's all about big, all about the history of big. We've got the outline. We've got the body of knowledge. We've got a lot of blogs and building. We've actually got a community forum space on there as well if you want to enter into some discussions about big. There's plenty going on. Skip forward a bit, please. Yeah, it is worth noting how much resource depth material further to anything you'll see today or even in the conference is on the website. We have supplementary materials. If you're a full member, obviously you get a little bit more, so you can go and see what's in the full member materials. We have materials for partners, we have links, and we have information about the exams and other opportunities. Okay, so actually moving on to the exams, just so you know, you can take a certification in big. It's not accredited externally at the moment, but it is a proper exam, and obviously we will give you a certificate for completion. We have a level 1 associate exam. This is a fairly basic, typical entry point exam, just testing sort of basic knowledge around big in a multiple choice format. We have a level 3 professional exam, which we piloted earlier in the year. A few of us on this call were members of that pilot group. It's a good, solid, implementing big in the real world, or in a really strong version of a hypothetical, but mostly real world applications of big, and you have to have quite an extensive depth and knowledge of big. There is room in the future for an exam in the middle, but we will do that on a demand-led basis. That would be more like a sort of practitioner exam. Plenty of stuff on the website about exams, including a full blog post and a whole YouTube video about it. Okay, so what else have we got? So we've got plenty of presence on LinkedIn. I think we're streaming live on LinkedIn now, even as we speak, aren't we, David? Hopefully. So shout out to LinkedIn. We've got our LinkedIn group, which is quite large. Separately, we've actually got a LinkedIn company page that's worth following. We can do slightly different things on that page. than we can do on others. And a lot of people don't know that we have a YouTube, but we have quite a good YouTube site. If you search YouTube on Big Kick and look for the logo, you will find it. Lots of extra material on there and some worthwhile videos, quite short, bite-sized ones and some longer ones as well on a variety of topics. And that is posted to quite regularly, so is building over time. You can, of course, subscribe. Okay, what else have we got, David? So just a reminder really that we are not for profit, and obviously as a professional organisation we do have some ongoing running costs, so there are lots of ways you can help us. We have free access to quite a lot of information, of course, and we will always maintain that. Members obviously really help us, and members get a little bit more and more opportunity. We've tried to work really hard on adding value to the membership proposition this year. We have a BOK club membership, so if you're interested in big but just want to sort of deep dive into the BOK, you can attend that. We're doing 10 sessions this year at £3 a year. Got conference attendees only, and full membership again. So quite a lot. All money does help us sort of keep things going. And in that light, we have merch, which is definitely the fun end. If you want to support big, go and check out our shop, which is easy accessible on the website. At the top there, we've got a big banner called shop, and we have quite the range now. So we have men's clothing, we have women's clothing, we have a few odds and ends like the apron there, and we have a variety of fun logos, including one in Latin if you are feeling so minded. Okay, so what's next for Big? Well, obviously, we're really thrilled to start this first conference season. That is a purchase for us. That was part of our vision and roadmap. We do have a sort of annual planning round. A lot of what we've done this year was kicked off in January, and we'll be doing the same thing again in January 2026. So if you're at all interested, plenty of opportunities to find out more about what we're doing and or get involved. Can we press the, yeah, so we're obviously hoping to grow the membership, but in tandem with that, we're hoping to increase the value of being a member of Big. Loads of volunteering opportunities at all levels and types. So if you want to get involved because you've got a particular expertise that'd be useful, or if you would like some personal development and would like to get involved in something you haven't done before that either sounds fun or would be useful for padding out your CV, plenty, just talk to us, plenty to do. And again, lots of opportunities for professional partners and commercial partners to assist. I think
Can I
that's
just
it.
add something there, Veronica?
Of course you can.
It's just that vision and roadmap, we're at that moment where we've put a lot of effort into to Big over the course of the year, and we want to take stock with respect to what it is and where it's going. So after the conference, we'll be really keen to engage with people who've seen this stuff and have a view and can help us shape what this is and maybe even become sharper part of shaping what it is. So a little call for help there, just while we're on this slide.
Yes, of course. Conference feedback will be vital. If there's any deeper dive topics for Big that we're not covering in the conference that you want to see, we really, really want to hear about those. Where there is sufficient demand, we will put it on, won't we, David? Absolutely. Do we have any questions?
So, guys, we've just hit you with a whole lot of information. We've kind of explained what the basis of the CIC is, that it's volunteer and not for profit. It has a legal basis, which means the assets are shared and they're not for any individual's profit. In fact, if we do dissolve the big CIC, we have to name a charity or another community interest company as the beneficiary, which at the moment is the APM. So while not being a charity, the big CIC is charitable. It is volunteer and not for profit, and it is safe to participate and collaborate within. So if anyone has any comments, please pop them in the chat, or if you'd like to unmute, we've got a couple of minutes if anyone wants to ask anything just at this moment. I think people can unmute themselves if they want to. Well, Veronica, you've obviously aced it, and did people either know about the CRC already or are comfy with what you just presented, which is good. Oh, Lisa, please dive in.
Thanks, David. Um, Not specifically around big CIC, but I thought maybe if there's time and if you don't have anything else, you could just tell us what's coming up, what we can expect. I know you said this is, instead of a full day, it's going to run over a series of weeks. That's something I can also look that up, but if there's nothing else, that'd be useful.
Yeah, we'll actually cover the events that are coming along, but just to signpost them. Next week there's something we call Frankenorg. It's a presentation of 8 instances from 5 people, just explaining the use of integrated governance. There's another session on big readiness to engage an organization as to what the importance of getting ready is. So there's a session on that, helping people get ready. And then further sessions from our colleagues from a strategy, governance, and portfolio perspective in the weeks that follow after that. And those are just the ones that we've signposted so far. But as I said, we'll cover those in more detail.
Great.
Gregor, you very politely had your hand up.
Hello from Slovenia.
Gregor, please.
I'm, let's say, PMO expert, consultant, business owner, and I was wondering if big model is, since it's, let's say, not for business, is it possible to use the framework, let's say, with my clients, or it is not allowed or whatever?
No, it's all the information is in the public domain. All that we ask, the information is shared, but it's shared under a share-alike license. So anyone can use our content, but they need to say where it came from, and give us some credit for it. And
sure.
if people want to be partners, there are ways to be partners where we can relax that licensing a little bit. But absolutely, we desperately need partners to go and do stuff with it. And yeah, we really encourage people to do that.
Yeah, and it's about the education as well. We're really happy when people go out and take big and use it in their organisations, either in full or in part. I myself work in PMO, and I have definitely used quite large chunks of big to assist me in improving things in my organisation. And we love use cases, of course, as well. But if you want to learn more about that specifically, obviously, just reach out. Tim also had a question. He said, is there any organisation similar to big in terms of purpose? And that was in the chat, David.
Not to my knowledge. There are charities. So the APM is a charity. I'm not aware of an organisation that is like big, that's a not-for-profit. I think there are professional commercial organisations that create content and training and systems that they can sell you, but not that one that is for volunteers to share and build something together with. I don't think so, unless anyone can tell me different.
Yeah, the purpose of big was definitely to fill a perceived gap, wasn't it, David? That there were plenty of organisations who had useful components, but nothing to link everything together in the way that we hope big does.
Exactly.